Today we have some horrible news in Honkai Impact 3rd which we are going to talk about, and that is one of the main cast for part 2 is confirmed dead. So we are going to talk about it, and I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd and Honkai Star Rail, and without any further ado, let's just get started. So we start our chapter 6 as we usually do, walk and talk, until we reach a part where we basically see Litost fighting a random NPC number 7000. Random NPC number 7000 is obviously no match to Litost, and therefore she gets her ass handed to her by him. And when he wins, the match is obviously over, right? But Litost has something else in his mind. He just didn't want to just hand her ass, he wanted basically to kill her. And he tries to kill her, and therefore we go into the match and we try to stop him. Unfortunately, Helia cannot do anything. She cannot basically go into the match because of the shield or the barrier around them, and therefore the only hope was Durandal. And Durandal came in clutch. She basically came into the match and she was able to save that woman. So our boy Litost disappear, and we talk a little bit with Agita, who somehow manages to basically get projected in the real world, just like the main character for some reason. And then we basically go to find Litost. We search for him with Chingsu. Somehow, for some reason, we start getting basically flashbacks. And these flashbacks are for both Helia and Coralie. And whenever you get flashbacks in a story before basically the end of it, you know it's building up for something. Something is going to happen. There is no reason to have flashbacks unless you are building up for something. And since it is basically flashbacks for both Coralie and Helia, one of them is going to have something happen to them. So we go through this search and we finally find basically Litost. We fight against him and he hands Chingsu her ass as well. Our boy is handing everyone's asses to them. He just is clapping everyone. So he defeats Chingsu as well, and he has the shadows basically capturing her. The way she is captured is the most sus way ever, but yeah, whatever, I guess. Then he disappears again, and we go through basically a character development for Helia. For some reason she remembers a little bit of the past, and then she basically goes through some character development, and we search for him again. And now we find him, and we fight him as Coralie and Helia. He defeats basically us. However, we go through another character development for Helia, and she basically now is not afraid of the shadows. She is not afraid of any of her fears. She will never be afraid again. She basically manages to somehow defeat the fear with the power of friendship and the power of plot, and she is now a different Helia. We stand up, we fight him again. We get to see some basically nice fight, and yeah, our boy Litost manages to hit them with a very beautiful hit, and the hit was basically aimed against Helia. However, Coralie was able to basically push her away, but that ended up basically hitting her. A direct hit in the heart, and she dies. Now she is in a simulation, so she says see you outside, Helia, and she dies. She disappears basically from that simulation. So Helia cannot basically manage to fathom with this crazy thing that happened with her, and she doesn't want to even fight with Litost anymore. She doesn't want to do anything in that simulated basically universe. She wants to get out as fast as possible to see what happened to Coralie and if anything happened to her in the real world. So she basically immediately exits the Mars computer, and then she goes to Coralie. And when she reaches there, Coralie is just lying on the ground, completely without any reflection. She is completely out cold. She is in a coma. So basically all of the different scientists that we have in Honkai Impact 3rd, including Einstein, who is her mother, her adopted mother, goes to try to see what happened with her. And they try and they try and they try, they fight, they basically scream, obviously just like how it usually would be. They are very mad about what happened, and they wonder how could a death in a random computer lead to a death in the real world. How could a death in a simulated world lead to what is happening with Coralie right now? Now Helia is standing outside of the operation room and she is hearing everything, and she is losing hope bit by bit. Durandal comes to Helia and tells her that we need basically to continue our mission, and Helia is basically going to be back in shape. She said that Coralie is trying to fight right now for them in her own way, and that she needs basically to fight for Coralie as well, and therefore she said that she is going to be in shape before their next mission. However, there comes basically Durandal with the bit of information that Helia was not ready to hear, and that is Coralie is confirmed to be dead. Her heart stopped working and she is actually dead. It's not basically just a coma, it's not something that happened only in the simulated world, basically in Mars. She is officially, in the real world, dead. And that's where Helia loses it. She is gone from this world. And there is where the story ends for this chapter. That was a crazy ending. So as you can see, Coralie is officially confirmed dead. She is basically dead. Her heart stopped, and basically the scientists who were performing the operation confirmed that she is dead. Now, does that mean that Coralie is dead for the rest of the story? Well, I don't know. Obviously we are in Honkai Impact 3rd, which is a little bit more depressing than Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. However, if we look at how they managed basically to go through the story for part 2, they technically went exactly the same as basically Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact, which is basically for kids. None of the main characters going to die, nothing bad is going to happen. The only characters that are going to die are the villains, nothing else. And therefore I have a feeling that they are going to come up with some BS, and they are going to somehow, even though Coralie's heart has stopped literally, as you could hear at the end of the story, they are going to somehow come up with a way to basically resurrect her. Now, don't misunderstand me, I am not against basically Coralie being resurrected. What I am against is the fact that they went through all of that just to basically give Helia the trauma that she needed, the courage that she needed, and the character development that she needed to be able to reach the S-rank battlesuit that they wanted to give us. Most likely they are going to give us an S-rank battlesuit for Helia after all of that. However, if they do bring back Coralie after that, that means that everything that Helia went through was rendered basically worthless, meaningless. It was rendered meaningless. But as I said before, it's part 2 of Honkai Impact 3rd. They until now didn't show any intention of killing a main character, and that's why I have my doubts about them basically randomly killing Coralie like that. So we will see what they are going to do. Let me know your opinion about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd and Honkai Star Rail. And until next time, see you as always in the next video.